Hello, hello. Welcome. Hi, how are you? Thank you for joining me today. I am Dr. Piersaint, and I have the honor to introduce to you Cory from Cory's Back. I am excited to share Cory with you. I am grateful to have this opportunity, and I'm thankful that you decided to join me for this virtual launch of Cory's Back. Um, so, typically, a launch is face to face in a usually in some kind of a bookstore, a cafe, some kind of public arena where people get to come and mingle and enjoy maybe a beverage, some snacks, some hors d'oeuvres, and they get to meet and greet the author, people like me. And when they do that, they also have an opportunity to not only meet the author, but purchase a copy of the book, hear some background information, some tidbits as to what inspired the author to write the book. And then from there, uh, oftentimes it's a small reading or some snippets of the book, but then you get to interact and engage with the author. And so I had planned on having this launch take place last Saturday in honor of Children's Mental Health Day. As you know, and if you don't know, I'll tell you, we are celebrating Mental Health Awareness Month. The month of May is Mental Health Awareness Month. And so when I wrote this book back in January, the thought was to launch it during the month of May on Children's Mental Health Awareness Day so that children in the United States, families in the United States and worldwide could hear the story of Cory, get to know him a bit, and hopefully purchase Cory's story and share it with those they love. And also, not just for children and their families, but for therapists, social workers, counselors, clinicians, clergy individuals, anyone who works with children. To be honest, anyone who works with anyone. The hope was that, and it still is, that you pick up a copy of Cory and hear his story, read his story for yourself, and share it with others. So, I am going to get ready to get started. I have never done this before. This is brand new to me. So I'm excited that I get to share with you. So one of the things we're going to do, I'll just give you a quick little thing up here. So I am going to cover a little bit about me. So you'll hear a little bit about myself, the motivation behind Cory's Back. So what drove me to write Cory's Back. Talk a little bit about kids and what you think of when you think of kids, the scary things that happen to children that at times cause them to have to head to the hospital, and then the birth of Cory. So you'll hear how that birthed Cory. I will wrap that up with some excerpts from the book, so you'll get to meet Cory. You'll hear a little bit more about him. And then I will tell you how you can earn a free autographed copy of Cory's Back. So, are you ready? Are you ready to start with me? I hope you are. Let me just check in real quick to see who's joining us. Hi, friends. Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoy Cory's Back. And if you've not yet purchased Cory's Back, I will be able to share where exactly you can purchase Cory. All right. Let's get started. So, Cory's Back. So, Cory's Back is a book written by yours truly, Dr. Piersaint. So who am I? Let me tell you a little bit about myself. I am an assistant professor at California University of Pennsylvania, here in Pennsylvania, where I teach undergraduate psychology courses. I also teach graduate psychology courses in our school psychology program, preparing future school psychologists. So hopefully my students find that I inspire them to want to pursue graduate school if I'm teaching those in the undergraduate level, and then at the graduate level, inspiring them to be well-rounded clinicians in the field so that they provide culturally competent, trauma-aware services, trauma-informed services to all the children that they work with, the teenagers that they work with, as well as the adults that they work with at the school setting. To give you a little bit about the clinical classes that I teach at California University, or CalU, I teach courses in practicum, I teach courses in application of theory and different kinds of evidence-based treatments such as DBT, dialectical behavior therapy, and I don't teach my students to just work with children. And when I say children, I am including teens and young adults. I teach them to work with the whole family, the whole unit, everyone who works with that child. So that is the teacher, it could be other providers such as physicians, it could be social workers, it could be people in their families, you name it, a holistic perspective, looking at that child, their needs, and how that child really functions outside of the school system, in their communities, in their homes, and seeing how they can provide support so that child can be the best that they can be, the best version of themselves. So when I am not teaching at CalU, I am a clinician and I provide therapeutic services to children. So that's young kids, teenagers, young adults, and adults. So that is individuals who are working in the field and they have a profession, educators, I've had physicians. I also provide services to families and couples. So I look at the whole family. That whole family could be maybe just one child who's in need of support, and so I provide therapy and support to that child, but then involve the family as much as possible with permission, of course. Or it could be, for example, couples that come in and they're struggling in their relationship. Maybe premarital counseling is needed, or they're in the midst of contemplating a divorce, and so I provide support around that. You name it. It's a spectrum of services that I provide. So I provide therapy there. And when I am not doing that, I'm in the community. And in the community, I serve on a number of different committees. So I, for example, represent the Haitian community here in Pittsburgh. I, by all means, am not the voice of every single Haitian, but I am the voice as much as possible, as the permission has been given to me, to the Haitians that reach out and share their concerns, share their needs as it relates to thriving and surviving and prospering here in Western Pennsylvania. But I don't do that just for my community as Haitians, as the Haitian community. I do that when I sit at the table and I advocate for communities. I advocate for all underserved communities, especially under the lens of mental health and well-being. So I am typically the voice that's saying, hey, can we talk about depression? Hey, can we talk about trauma? Hey, can we offer services to individuals in the community so that they can, as much as possible, thrive? It's great to survive, but we want them to be able to thrive as well. When I am not doing that, as you can see now, I wear a number of different hats. I am the wife to a husband of almost 14 years now, and the mother to a son who will soon turn 13. So I am a mom. I am a wife. I am a sister. I am friends to my neighbors. I am your local person who you can run into at the grocery store and I say hello, or you run into me at Target or Target or at Walmart. I am that person. So if I'm not teaching, if I am not in the community, taking part of various community activities or advocacy opportunities and events, I am, or if I'm not providing therapy to someone or a family, I am home doing what I enjoy, what brings me life, what brings me joy, part of what fuels me to do the things that I do outside of the home. That's being a wife and being a mom. I am, by now, you probably have realized, I am a native of Haiti. I immigrated to the United States as a young child, and I lived on the East Coast until we moved to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, about 11 years ago. When we moved, I was a little taken aback. There aren't too many Haitians here, and it wasn't as linguistically diverse as living in Rhode Island or living in South Florida or living in New York was. And so it took some adjustment. But once we adjusted, we made friends, we made connections with people who uh, are passionate about the same things or similar things, who are passionate about sharing love, life, joy, and being supportive to one another in as it relates to their community. I now call Pittsburgh home. Pittsburgh is home to us, and Pittsburgh has been good to us. So that's a little bit about me. So let's keep moving. Let's see. So the motivation behind Cory, excuse me. Wipe my nose here. So why did I write Cory? I'll share a little bit about that. So prior to becoming an academic, so prior to being full-time faculty at California University, I was full-time clinical in the clinical setting. I was at one point in time, the assistant program director to the child and adolescent inpatient unit, specifically the bipolar unit at Western Psychiatric Institute and Clinic, one of the nation's largest psychiatric hospitals here in Pittsburgh. And I also provided support to other units, so support to kids, teens on the autism unit, as well as the general child and adolescent unit. And from there, I transitioned, obtained my doctorate, and was given an opportunity to return to be the program director, the clinical program director of the child and adolescent inpatient unit. And that unit served children, believe it or not, as young as 4 to up to 18. And the children whom I serve, my staff members, nurses, milieu therapists, dietary staff, environmental staff, clerks, you name it, the patient care techs. My unit served children and their families. So not just seeing one child come through the door and only focus on that child. Yes, that child is the focus of the treatment. They guide treatment. And the psychiatry team, the nursing team, the pharmacy team, everyone provided support to that child. But we also, one of my tasks that I tasked everyone with was to include everyone. So to not only provide support to the child, but pull in parents, pull in individuals who provide support to this child, obtain as much as possible a holistic lens in providing treatment and what that child needs. And one of the things that we know as it relates to mental health in the United States, there's roughly over 74 million children in the US. So think about that. That's not even, the world, just the United States. Out of that, there are about 17 million children who struggle with psychiatric needs. So they have a mental health need, a mental health disorder, whether they're receiving treatment for it or not, but they have some diagnosable condition under the umbrella of psychiatry or psychological needs. Out of that, what we know is 1 in 20 children struggle with depression or anxiety or a combination of the two. That's a whole heck of a lot. If you've got over 17 million, that 17 million children struggling with mental health needs, that is more than the number of children with diabetes, HIV, and cancer combined. Think about that for a minute. That is more than the number of children with HIV, cancer, and diabetes combined. And these children oftentimes receive services and sometimes they don't. But for those who receive services and they make it to the hospital, they are kids who are oftentimes really scared. And not just the kids, the folks who take them to the hospital as well. So the parents, the aunt, uncles, the grandmas, the grandpas, the pop-pops, the cousins, you name it. The individuals who take these little people, these children, to the hospital, to the psychiatric hospital, they are often scared themselves, but they put on their brave faces as much as possible so that their children, that child, receives services and they're not scared. Oftentimes, questions that we would receive, I would often get as program director, is, can I stay with my child? Can I give them their cell phone? Are they able to wear those jeans, wear that hoodie over their head? Can I bring a pillow? Can I bring their pet? All those questions are questions that are typically asked either in the emergency room or upon the child's admission onto our unit, onto the psychiatric unit. And these are all questions that are valid questions. I would want to know. I would definitely want to know, what can I provide to my child? What kind of supports will be provided? And then for that child, what does this mean to be in a psychiatric hospital? Am I going to, and I don't use this word, but I'm going to use quotes because this is oftentimes what I hear, I'm going to be with all the crazy people. And so providing them with education so that we destigmatize psychiatric treatment, psychiatric hospitalization, and the process is often what I would do. And so that was part of the reason for creating Cory's Back, to destigmatize the scary things that often adults and kids think and experience when interfacing with a psychiatric hospital. So, when you think of kids, I just mentioned some stats that aren't the greatest stats, but it's good to be aware of them. But when you think of kids, you think of children as fun-loving children. They're full of life. They want to play. They're careless. They're carefree. They're playful. That's what you typically think of when you think of kids. What we know is that there are millions of children worldwide who may not experience those types of days, moments at all. Or they experience them, but they're small windows of feeling like they're full of joy. They're small windows of being full of life. They're small windows of having an opportunity to play with friends, with people who want them around, with people who care about them. So that was some of that as well. So with that came Cory, the birth of Cory. Thinking about all the things that I shared with you beforehand, I sat in, I was preparing for the start of the spring semester, getting my stuff ready, and I thought, as we return back from Christmas break, how many kids, how many children, young and old, so whether you are a child in elementary school, middle school, high school, even college, how many of them will struggle to return back into the school setting? How many of them don't want to go back? They're afraid of what people are going to say. They're afraid of what people are going to do. They're afraid of a number of things. And so when I thought about that, I thought, well, you know what? I need to give voice to that. I need to give voice to the anxieties that millions experience when returning back to an environment, maybe after a break, after receiving treatment, or even sometimes after just a weekend. And out of that came Cory. And I decided to have Cory be a chocolate drop because In the statistics that I shared, I didn't share how many actually fall under the category of underrepresented populations. So that these are minorities, these are children who come from communities that look like me. They are from African American communities or from Black communities, and under the umbrella of Black communities, they can be Jamaican, Haitian, Dominican, you name it, from Aruba, from you name it. They could be Hispanic, Spanish, they can be Asian. They are diverse, and they're not often receiving treatment because of a number of things: access, lack of access, because of issues around stigma. So I wanted to present to the world Cory, a brown-skinned, beautiful young man, to also destigmatize obtaining treatment and seeking treatment for individuals who come from underserved communities and populations like myself. So a little bit about Cory. Cory is a fifth grader who struggles with anxiety. He lives with his mother and his golden retriever named Cuba. He has lots of friends. He's quite a popular kid. Surprisingly, huh? He is popular. He is active. He enjoys playing soccer. He's on the track team. He hangs out with his friends whenever he has an opportunity to. He has friends who represent a diverse group of nationalities. So his friends are of Asian nationality, they're Caucasian, they're Spanish. They span the gamut. He has a sort of rainbow array, a rainbow sort of spectrum of friends. He is, at the end of the day, your typical fun-loving child who truly just enjoys life. He enjoys life. He enjoys being able to be with his friends. He enjoys being able to share as much as possible what is going on in his world, in his life. So with that, I want to share a little bit about Cory. So this is not by any means the beginning of the book. This is a couple pages in, but I wanted you to get an idea of what the colors look like. The illustrator is a mom of twins who is Brazilian, and she's in Brazil. And when she said yes, she wanted to collaborate with me on this special project, I was thrilled. She did a beautiful job representing the diverse friends that Cory has, as well as bringing life to Cory, letting you see him for who he is. So I'm going to read a couple pages of Cory and introduce his story to you so you get to know a little bit about what's going on. Cory looked at his friends and thought, well, they are my friends. They won't make fun of me. Cory answered nervously, I was in the hospital. The hospital? Did you have surgery? But I don't see any broken bones. There were whispers, odd looks, and concerned faces. No, not that kind of hospital. I was in a psych hospital. A psych hospital? What's that? Cory blushed, lowered his head, and said softly, I have anxiety. It's a hospital for people with mental illness like me. His friends looked at each other, and to Cory's surprise, one by one, they responded with words of support. Me too! It's okay. Oh, my mom had anxiety. That's it. That's all I'm going to share. Hopefully, it's not too much of a tease. What did you think? What did you think of Cory? I hope his story is one that you can relate to. In actually presenting Cory's story, I sent out electronic copies of this book to a few of my colleagues and some of their children and some family members as well. And the feedback that I received was so positive. I had one kiddo say that they love seeing other Black kids like Cory in this book. There were others who shared that Cory's story brings life and light to the stories of millions, young and old, and their struggles with mental illness, their struggles with having conversations with people about what they're struggling with, what's been going on, and the kind of support that they need. So it has been an honor to share Cory's story with you. My hope is that you are interested in purchasing Cory. I hope you do. I will say, because this is the launch of Cory's Back, I would love to give you a free copy of Cory's Back. So if you would like a free copy, these are the things that you would need to do to obtain your free copy. I'm going to randomly pick from the names of individuals who follow all of these steps to obtain a signed autograph copy of Cory's Back. So what do you need to do? Well, I want you to follow the steps above. So either first of all, like this video. Hopefully you've liked it already. But follow me on, either Instagram, Facebook, or on YouTube. Then share this video. So you like it, you follow me, then you share this video, right? You share this video with individuals, communities, groups that you know truly need to hear Cory's story. Bring life to Cory's story. Bring life to the Corys in their lives. And then leave me a comment so that I know that you did all three. So, like this video, follow me on one of those social media platforms. If you follow me on all three, that's even better, but at least one. And then share this video with your loved ones, your friends, on Facebook, on social media, with groups of therapists, psychologists, counselors, social workers, whom you know, clergymen, etc., whom you know will share this with the communities that truly need to hear what Cory has to say. And then once you're done, you leave me a comment letting me know that you did so that I can go back and take a look to see what you were able to do and enter you into the drawing. So, I hope you enjoyed Cory's Back. I hope Cory is one who inspires you to have conversations about mental illness with young people and with people young and old, or young and young at heart, I should say. The reality is that adults and kids experience some of the same struggles as Cory. I have had adults struggle with telling their colleagues, family members, friends about their struggles with mental illness or recent hospitalization, and they don't know what to say. They don't know how to explain why they were out of work for 2 months or a week. They don't know what to say when people ask them why they have to leave work early every Tuesday. And so the story of Cory, although it is in the lens of a child, it really is applicable to adults as well, because adults, in addition to children, struggle with the same kind of questions, concerns, and thoughts as Cory. So that's it. That is it. This is Cory. Cory's Back is available for purchase by going to www.serenityforyouthlandfamilies.com. That is www.serenityforyouthlandfamilies.com. and families.com. I will also put the link in the description box, and we'll share it in the comment section as well, so that you can follow, click on the link and follow directly to the online website where you can purchase your copy of Cory. During the month of May, all purchases of Cory's back will receive a personalized note from me, as well as it will be a signed autograph. So I hope you get your copy today. Why not today? Especially after hearing a little bit about Cory. Thank you so very much for joining me. Thank you for your willingness to be open about these discussions. We know that the more we have open conversations about mental illness and treatment, the less stigmatizing it becomes to those who are in therapy, in the hospital, taking meds, as well as those who have been contemplating. They've been on the sidelines, not knowing whether or not they want to seek treatment. But we know that when we have open and honest conversations about these types of topics, it destigmatizes the scary beast and makes it something normalizing that we can provide support to our loved ones and even take care of ourselves. So before I sign off, I will just say hello to some of you who have said, who are part of this show, this live launch today. Hello to Naraya. Hi, Eli. Hello, Maria. Hello, Hope from the UK. Thank you. And Nerlange and everyone else. If I didn't see your name, hello. Thank you for watching and joining the live launch of Cory's back. I can't wait for you to purchase the book and to receive your little personalized note from me. And more importantly, for you to share Cory's story with everyone you know. It is worth sharing. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of the afternoon. Bye.